You're watching FNN, the FUKK News Network.
This program contains subject matter and language that may be disturbing to some viewers.
Don't try to frighten us with your sorcerer's ways, Lord Vader. Your sad devotion to that ancient religion has not helped you conjure up the stolen data tapes, or given you clairvoyance enough to find the rebels' hidden fort.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Enough of this.
Man, this ain't none of your goddamn business.
Vader, release him.
Motherfucker.
Viewer discretion is advised.
SHMACKEMAGOB.
SHMACKEMAGOB, it's time for the only news that matters, and I want to thank Theo Classe, I hope I pronounced your name right, for that awesome SHMACKEMAGOB intro playing Deuce on the guitar. And I'm not just saying that because I'm very fragile and you look like you can kick the shit out of me. I thought that was really cool, so thank you so much. And if you want to send a SHMACKEMAGOB, please send it to this email right here. Alright, let's get into the only news that matters. And starting it off with some sad news, Rush bassist vocalist Geddy Lee is mourning the death of his mother, Mary Weinrib. Weinrib passed away on July 2nd, just weeks shy of her 96th birthday. She's a Holocaust survivor and she's been through a lot, and she gave birth to a genius. So rest in peace, Mary, and my condolences to Geddy Lee. And in other Rush-related news, Alex Lifeson says there is no way Rush will ever exist again. Believes band's final tour couldn't have been better. And I knew that. Rush is the kind of band that, they're not like Kiss or like I'm going to talk about later, ManOwaR and Judas Priest and Scorpions that all announce a farewell tour and they come back. Even if Neil was still alive, I honestly believe it was over. That was it. And I applaud them for that. And I'm not making a joke out of this, but this picture they used of Alex Lifeson, is it me? Or does it look like Alex is like morphing into Neil Peart? Very odd. Alright, next story. Triumph's long-awaited documentary to be released this fall. It's about damn time. What's it been? 2-3 years since this was announced they were going to do it? I'm a big Triumph fan. And I find it so crazy how, I saw Triumph back in the day like 2-3 times in a big arena. And now it's like, they're kind of forgotten. And it's a damn shame because Triumph is an amazing band that I don't get it myself. Because I listen to Allied Forces and Just a Game, Progression of Power, Rock and Roll Machine, and they all still sound great. It doesn't sound dated to me. Fight the Good Fight, one of the most important songs of my life. Triumph rules. Alright, next story. Stephen Pearcy once again floats possibility of classic Ratt reunion. Says, I'm opening the door. Now, what I find very interesting is that Stephen Pearcy also said that, this whole thing of him going out there with all these different members of the band is nonsense. What a salesman. Well, at least he's honest. But, yeah, there never is going to be a Ratt without Robin Crosby. But, Infestation was a damn good record. I mean, in my opinion, it's the best thing they've done since Out of the Cellar. Yeah, that's right. I said it. So, hey, I'm all for getting Carlos Cavazo and that lineup together and release another album as good as Infestation. That'd be awesome. All right, next story. Chris Jericho says it's disappointing to see Vince Neil so out of shape before Motley Crue's stadium tour. Oh, shut your pie hole. Seriously. I mean, I know everybody's complaining about Vince Neil being out of shape and can't sing well live. I mean, I guess I don't care because I have no interest in seeing this stadium tour. I saw Motley Crue back in the 80s, back in their prime, and, seeing them now is not Motley Crue, and it has nothing to do with Vince Neil. You got a drummer that hates metal, a bass player that really doesn't care about Motley Crue. And we all know, man, Mick Mars is not about Motley Crue. But he loves that money, and they all love that money. To me, Vince Neil is the only real member of Motley Crue. He still loves that shit. And Vince Neil, at least he doesn't use tapes to sing live. I mean, it's very obvious that guy is not lip syncing. Unlike Chris Jericho, now that's disappointing. Next story. Gene Simmons says Ace Frehley and Peter Criss continue to make bad choices in their lives. And he's talking about how they didn't want to take part in the documentary. And he even said, oh, they wanted money and editing rights. Not even I had editing rights. That's a bunch of bullshit. Of course Gene and Paul both had editing rights. Eric Carr's fiancée or girlfriend was interviewed for it, and they edited her completely out. I mean, come on, you have to be a complete kiss-tard to think that Gene didn't have no editing rights to the documentary. Bottom line, Ace and Peter wanted equal share. You can go on Amazon now and watch this documentary for $5. They wanted it split 4 ways. And Gene and Paul said no. And now they're going out there making Ace and Peter look like the bad guys. But the truth of the matter is, it's all about money. And Gene and Paul were not willing to give them equal share. And Ace and Peter are just as important as Gene and Paul when it comes to the story of Kiss. But Gene and Paul still think Ace and Peter have no right to the band, even when it comes to this documentary. In no way Ace and Peter can be involved as much as Gene and Paul in anything. And to me, that's a bunch of bullshit. But I will not deny that Ace and Peter has made bad choices in the past. Just like when Gene made that bad choice when he got that wig that looked like a dead animal on his head. That was a bad choice for a wig. Alright, next story. ManOwaR to celebrate 6 album anniversaries on Crushing the Enemies of Metal tour in 2022. So add ManOwaR to the list of bands that had a farewell tour and went back on it. I'm a big fan of ManOwaR, and I know it's not a band that everybody loves. There's a lot of people that goof on them because they wore loincloths and this and that. I really don't care. I'm a fan of the music. I always will be. They were a bucket list band for me, and I finally got to see them on the Warriors of the World tour. And when I got to the door, there was a sign that said, "You can't be wearing spikes." And I'm like, what the hell? They have a song called Gloves of Metal, where it's like, we wear leather, we wear spikes, we rule the night. And they gave a half-assed performance. They looked like they were going through the motions. It was an extremely disappointing show. And they treated the bands like shit afterwards. I had a couple friends that went up to them and said they were all dicks. So yeah, it was very, very disappointing. But you know what? I still love their music. I'm not one of these fans that are like, oh, they treated me like shit, therefore I don't support them anymore. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever go see them again, but I'm still going to crank battle hymns and marvel at the greatness of their brand of Valhalla metal. All right, next story. New Zealand mother names her 3 children Metallica, Slayer, and Pantera. Wow. I predict the child called Metallica will be very rich. I predict the child called Slayer will end up worshiping Satan. And I predict Pantera, that kid will end up in jail. All right, final story. Dave Mustaine has revealed the first glimpse of the bassist that re-recorded Dave Ellison's bass track on the upcoming Megadeth album. Dave Mustaine was doing a cameo, and he pointed his phone at the bass player that you can see here hiding behind a chair. And I gotta say, it's really cool to see a Megadeth bassist with his pants on. All right, that's it. Thank you for watching, everybody. If you want to subscribe to my channel, please do. And I have a PayPal in the description below if you'd like to donate. And listen to my podcast, the VIERA Vault and the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast. And I will be in Nashville next month, August, at the Rockin' Pod. And I would love for you all to come and say hi to me and hang out. I would love to meet all you cool people that are subscribed to my channel and that follow me. Just to thank you for being so damn awesome. So stay frosty, everybody. Listen to Black Sabbath and SHMACKEMAGOB.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain.